Oh boy, this is a lot of work. That's such a strong feeling of just, I am alone. I have to do everything. Here we go again. I feel relaxed and I feel kind of like open and almost like a sense of joy. I belong here. This feels wonderful. Assuring, reassuring. I can relax because I get to be the woman because he's being the man. A little quickening of my heartbeat. There's a sense of safety, but it's different. If all men knew that, the world would be a very happy place.
Welcome to the Vibrant Couple. Today I have invited Mary Knight, who coaches men and women about their love life. Welcome, Mary.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
I would love to talk, Mary, about nice guys today and about the curse of being a nice guy, both for men, but also for the women that they are married to. And so before we get started on the curse and how to change that, what do you see as nice guys? How would you define a nice guy?
Nice guys are approval seekers. Nice guys are people pleasers. And I think that they're doing it very innocently. They don't realize that their behavior is coming off as approval seeking. They think that, oh, this is just how you behave when you like someone, when you want to let a woman know that you're interested in her, that you do things to convince her to like you. I feel like nice guys view dating as a way to prove to someone else that they're good enough. I think that nice guys, when they are married and in relationships, if they kind of made it through the phase where they were actually able to attract someone and then have this marriage and a relationship, it's all about approval seeking, even when they already have the approval, right? Even when they are already in the relationship with a woman, whether they've been dating for long term or whether they're married, they are still doing things to people please and to not rock the boat. And the problem with that is that that is not a behavior that makes women feel comfortable and relaxed and sexy.
That's exactly what I'm seeing as well. And the good news for men is that women tend to be attracted to bad boys because, bad boys give them the validation, the sexual appeal that they want, but they typically end up marrying the nice guys because nice guys are safer. Not sexually, but at least in life with mortgage and with the children, and those long-term things. But there is a huge cost to nice guys being in their heads, because that being in their heads is a total sexual turnoff for women.
It is. I agree with everything that you said. But one thing I want to add is that nice guys are a great catch. Like, nice guys are the guys you want to have a relationship with. They're the guys that you want to marry. They're the guys that you want to introduce to your friends because they're fun to be around. They're easy to be around in most cases. And the only thing that's lacking is not that he's not handsome or smart or charming or funny or good in bed, but that he doesn't allow himself to just be himself. But with all of those amazing qualities, there's the underlying feeling that women have with a nice guy is that he's not entirely okay with certain parts of himself. And usually the part of himself that he's not okay with is the animal sexual part of himself. And that is the part that, with all those other amazing qualities that you have, yeah, a woman will marry you. And at first, when y'all are new and there's a lot of natural sexual chemistry and sexual passion, like that, it's not as noticeable. But then as time goes on in a relationship, it doesn't have to be this way, but most relationships, the sex does kind of die down, and then everything comes very clearly into view. And one of the things that comes into view is that you're too damn nice, that you are seeking her approval. And that is confusing to women. We feel confused when you're looking for our approval, it means that you are looking for us to take the lead. And if we are being put in a position constantly where we have to take the lead, it takes us out of our feminine energy, right? Because we want to be the girl in the relationship.
Yeah.
We want to be the woman. And for us to feel like a woman, then you have to be the man. In many cases, when a woman feels the need to express herself to a man with a lot of words, especially critical words, it's because she doesn't feel like he's present with her. Like it's a whole feeling thing. And so the way that women will express themselves when they're upset is with using a lot of words.
Mary, I fully agree with you that presence, masculine presence, is what women need. So I would love to invite you to a little bit of practice. With the couples I work with, I do a lot of scenarios like option scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3. Would you be willing to play with me?
Oh, that sounds so fun, yeah.
Sounds good. So scenario 1, I'm going to be a nice guy. And actually, I won't be saying any words. I just scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3. And I invite you to narrate what you feel.
Okay, so you're going to project energy.
Yes,
to
so
me?
I'm
You're
just going to be
okay.
so in the first one I'm the nice guy. So basically my internal what I'm saying internally as a way of is Mary, please validate me. Do you like me? Do you like me? I want sex with you, but shall I do your boobs for 15 or no, maybe 20 seconds before I grab your ass? Kind of nice guy, totally in their head. Okay. Scenario 1.
How it feels to me is that I'm alone. It feels like, oh boy, this is a lot of work.
Please keep
okay,
talking.
I would
this
have
is
to
super helpful for the.
Oh, okay.
This is super helpful for the nice guys listening. And maybe let's do that practice 2 times. So let's do scenario 2, and then we'll do the scenarios 1, 2, 3 in a row.
Okay.
So scenario 2, I'm a present man, but I am not projecting any sexual energy towards you.
I think my taking a breath out just said it all. I felt a sense of peace, of relaxation, of like, oh, okay, I get to be myself. I can relax.
Wonderful.
Because I get to be the woman because he's being the man. I mean, that's very nice.
That's wonderful. Sounds good.
Sit here all day.
Yeah, so let's do scenario 3, in which, in addition to that presence, I'm going to broadcast my sexual desire to you. And for listeners, Mary and I live far away from each other. We've never met, we'll never meet. And this is just a practice. This is not an invitation of me to her.
I feel it in my vulva. I actually can feel like I'm aware of my vulva. And then I feel like an energy that is traveling up towards my belly button. It's not a super strong sensation, but I'm certainly noticing it. And then I also can feel a little bit in my chest, a little quickening of my heartbeat. But there's not any kind of thought about this. And I think it's because we're not on a date. I'm not having to I don't have to make any decisions about what to do with your desire, right? Like it's like, oh, I'm just
are you saying you don't have to worry about your nice girl?
That's right. Exactly. See, if I were worried or felt intimidated in any way, I would be in my head like, oh, I don't know what to do and what should I do and But I don't feel
Yeah.
that because it's nice.
Sounds
It's
good.
pleasant.
Sounds, yeah. And so let's do these three scenarios again so that you can be more expressive and
Okay.
then also the viewers can better notice the differences.
Okay.
So scenario one.
Again, I just feel like, oh, come on, I got to do everything. That's such a strong feeling of just, I am alone. I have to do everything. Here we go again. And I feel a heaviness in my chest. I can feel like heaviness in my chest kind of rising up into my throat.
So it's very interesting because the mental was I want to touch her boobs, but what do I do so I don't look like too animal about it? So it's so interesting.
That is really funny. Oh, that I'm saying I felt it.
Yeah, you had to basically
that's funny.
protect yourself. It's interesting. Sounds good.
Right.
So
That's funny.
scenario two, in which I'm present, but in my masculine, but with no sexual desire, no sexual drive broadcasted to you.
Okay. See, once again, I took this deep breath, let my breath out because I feel relaxed. I feel like, oh, well, here we are. Isn't this pleasant? And I feel kind of like open and almost like a sense of joy. I've never done an exercise like this, so this is very, very interesting. Yeah, I do feel like this, almost like elation. Like, oh, I belong here. This feels wonderful. I like this. That's how it feels. It's really very, very reassuring. I feel almost like I could do anything. It's so strange.
Wonderful.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I know.
I feel, you know
know.
what?
And basically, that's what nice guys don't understand about presence.
Yeah.
Is how instantly the woman knows. You knew my nice guy in scenario one that I wanted to do this on your boob, but I didn't know how, and I was worried, and blah, blah, blah. And intentionally, intuitively in scenario two that you could relax around me.
Well, I felt supported. That's the word. I felt supported. I was like, oh, this is fine. This is good. This is safe. Mm-hmm. That's how, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Wonderful. So scenario three, in which I'm practicing broadcasting my sexual desire to you.
Okay. Again, I feel it in my vulva, but it feels more expansive. This time, instead of being so concentrated, it feels like it's more like kind of spreading out a warmthness in my, my lower chakra, like in between my second and third chakra there. The base chakra, like kind of up there. I'm not sure what your audience knows, but the chakra system there, the energy center there, that's where I'm really feeling it, my second chakra. It's very warm. It feels good. But there's nothing like overt, like, oh, I need to take some action, or it's just like a pleasant feeling. Again, there's a sense of safety, but it's different.
If I were to make a move towards you, like taking a dominant step towards you, would it be welcome?
I think, for my body, yes. But because of our lack of relationship, and because I'm not available, right? Then I think that it wouldn't be welcome by my personality.
So it's
right?
wonderful
body,
that your boundary was there without a need to talk about it, because in my mind, when I was planning to take that dominant step, it felt that it was not wanted, it was not welcome. So I basically kept owning my desire and was totally fine with it.
Oh, that's really something. That's very powerful. Wow.
Yeah.
If all men
Yeah.
knew that, wow. The world would be a very happy place.
Very different place,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and basically women typically don't feel safe around men, either because they are men who wants their next screw, or they are the nice guy type that somehow doesn't provide the protection, sense of safety, um, you know, a firm ground that she can stand on and be herself in.
Yes. That's yes, I love that. I love that. And I'll be honest,
Wonderful.
I don't have a lot of words to say about it because I'm just kind of reveling in that feeling.
And
There's
this is
nothing to
so
say. It's
wonderful
amazing.
that you and this is so wonderful that you don't have words because nice guys are totally in their heads, which I was not during scenario 2 and 3. And as a result, you were not in your head.
Mhm.
And so I want to close that practice. I want to thank you.
Oh, sure.
And should you and I ever meet in person, there is no consequence from that practice. This was just you and I learning for
Hmm.
the sake of our personal learning and all the men and women watching. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. You're very welcome.
From a man's point of view, it is so honoring to be with a woman who, and I'm also going to say, can relax because so many women cannot and are constantly in their heads and constantly, trying to control the situation, control the world, and control them as a result.
I agree. And if a woman is in her head, she is not in her body. If she is not in her body, then she can't be relaxed. And if a woman is not relaxed, she cannot be aroused. Because relaxation is one of the first steps in female arousal cycle. So that's why it's really important for men to be in their masculine presence so a woman can feel relaxed so that she can be genuinely turned on by you.
Yeah. So men learn to be men with men, and women learn to be women with women. And the relationship between man and woman is a wonderful place to learn and grow and invite each other. And so, one question I have for you is how can a woman invite, support her nice guy husband to become that more present man that is so much more satisfying to her, knowing that being a nice guy is a really good start. It's much better than, having being the guy that basically just goes for his next crew in a very narcissistic way.
Well, this might sound counterintuitive, especially to a woman who is used to doing everything. And then also when she has a husband that she doesn't feel like she can trust to do anything, is surrender. Because until she steps back and gives him the space, literally and figuratively, to actually participate and do some things, then he's not going to be able to because he's not going to feel welcome. And I know a lot of men don't feel really welcome in their own homes. They feel like they're there to pay for stuff. I've heard that a lot. And women admit, oh my gosh, yes, I treated him like that. I treated him like a wallet and a sperm donor. And once I had what I wanted, I really wasn't that interested anymore.
What Mary is describing, which I also fully support, does not mean submitting. Personally, as a man, when I get into my presence, it is also surrendering to my masculine nature. So surrendering is not just something women have to do. The difference is women or, beings with a feminine sexual essence, if you have a different sexual orientation, surrender into their feminine because that's their nature. And personally, as a man, as a being with a masculine essence, surrendering into my masculine has a very relaxing sense of home. This is natural. And of course, I'm not able to hold it all the time. But there is when I'm able to be there and be relaxed and present, and it is wonderful for myself and the people around me.
I love that. I love that even you're talking about it, I can feel it. You know, when you talk about that you have to surrender to your own masculine presence, that's an incredible way to say it, because that's exactly what women have to do in their feminine essence, is you have to surrender into it. And I think that if we'll just use something that I think every married couple can relate to, and that's household chores. A lot of times, and this is a great place to start with surrender for women, is that, you know, if you're a typical couple, you're probably doing most of the housework. All right, that's how it is with me, and I just happen to I like that. I like that. It's my house. I like it a certain way, and that's just how I like it. Right? My husband doesn't care about it as much as I do, and so since I'm the one that cares so much, I'm going to put in the extra work. It's a pleasure for me, but okay. And the thing that I hear from a lot of women is that, oh, you know, he doesn't do this way. He doesn't do this that way. He doesn't do it the way I want it, and it's so what? It's like we have made every single thing so high stakes, and there's so many things that just don't matter. But when we get caught up in our heads in controlling, everything takes on a larger than life essence. And it's not healthy, because it doesn't feel good, right, to anybody concerned. But it's not so much about that he can't do it right. It's that we get caught up in control, and kind of control for control's sake, rather than thinking of him as, wow, this is the man that I love. This is the man that I have sex with. Am I really going to browbeat him over trash, or because he didn't put the shelves together the way I thought he should, or because he didn't make that reservation that I asked him to, or he was mad at my mom? I mean, all the myriad dumb things that we bring into our sex lives, right? That have nothing to do with sex, but we because we're just trying to control, we do and say things that are constantly exhibiting that. I think I kind of got off a little rabbit trail there.
No, this is wonderful. This is wonderful because learning to be patient, learning to be compassionate, learning to relate with other. Because of course he is a man, from if you're a woman and you're heterosexual, but he is also other, and other is going to do things otherly, differently. And so if we basically stay in our heads and basically, want to nitpick on everything, and of course I'm not talking about just women, men do that as well.
Yes.
Then we don't, we close the door to being simple and direct and ourselves and animalistic about lovemaking and sex, which I believe is the glue that makes all these other things, like he didn't put the shell the way you wanted, not really matter. When we are sexually satisfied, all those things don't really matter.
Absolutely. When you think of your husband as your lover first, what else really matters? I mean, of course, there are some things that are important, but just what I'm talking about, like the day-to-day stuff, does it really matter if he doesn't know how to pay bills online? Does it matter that he's writing checks? No. Do you need to say something? No. you see what I mean? I mean, that's like another common example of like, oh, well, he doesn't do it the way that I would do it. It's like, so what? Leave it alone. It's none of your business anyway. If he's doing it and he's in charge of it, then let him do it his way, right? And just leave him alone. And I think I'm saying that, as a wife, because I do that too. I mean, I'm this expert, and I still participate in some of that controlling behavior. Because when I'm doing that, it immediately, I'm like, oh, where do I feel that? I feel it in my head. I feel it in my chest. And that tells me I am not in my body. I'm not in real time. I'm somewhere else. Somewhere where the trash is more important than my sexy husband.
So is the key to being going from nice guy to, or let's say differently. I'm sure that the key from going to nice guy to a present man is just from being present in one's body in the moment. And is the key for a woman to become a happy wife the same, to just be in her body, in the moment, and in her feminine?
I say yes, and I want to add something to that though, is that men are the leaders in the relationship. That doesn't mean that you're being domineering and bossing. That's not what I'm saying. We're talking about energetically here. Men are the leaders in the relationship. So if you don't have your energy managed, if you're always in your head, you're upset about things, you aren't centered and balanced, it's going to happen. It happens to the best of us. It does, because we're humans. It's part of the human experience. But if you are not maintaining your masculine essence and your presence, then the woman that you're with can't maintain hers. So a lot of times women are reacting to men. And I know I'm not trying to blame men or say that men are the cause of
No.
because I'm my own
Yeah.
person, right? I'm an adult. I should manage my own energy. But there's a big difference when my husband has been frustrated by something and then talks to me about something and I'm like, ew, get away from me. Like, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
And so if
No,
you
it
aren't
is.
managing yourself, then your woman is going to have a harder time managing herself. And then there's going to be this reaction.
So it is men learning to be men, women learning to be women, and couples learning to be couples.
Yes.
Well, Mary, I'm so glad you and I had this conversation that was somehow discombobulated, but it had a lot of depth,
Yes.
and really good insights for the men who want to become more present, and we want to end the nice guy curse, and the women married to them.
Yes. I so appreciated your inviting me to come on your show. I love the service that you're doing. And I, as a woman, thank you for helping men become better husbands. Even though I have a great husband and I'm happy, it's just the world in general needs to have more love, more happiness, more harmony.
If this video inspired you to liberate more love, please hit the like button below and subscribe so you can be notified when I publish new juicy content. And please share with all you believe would benefit. Here is the video that inspired me to invite Mary. Here is a video for nice guys and one on how to befriend one's bad boy. Should you actually want to practice presence, this video highlights one of the best ways to get started as a man, a woman, or as a couple.